saying?
Yes, I will give thanks to life by Yahki.
Serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread, giving thanks for everyone. Tune in from those times. If you get free time, make sure you check out Far Right, Autarchii, the Dread EP, Disrupting the Status Quo, there in the description. Also, make sure you visit INeverKnewTV.com. We give thanks for everybody been supporting the thing, and we look forward to your continued support. Irie reasons you don't want to miss. Reason there with the one NFL star from the Cleveland Browns, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, my engineer, Fela Kute's son, Sawan Kute. You don't want to miss that. Brand new reason from the one, Paula Herlock. We've been putting up some full reasonings recently, and you want to check those. Farai, what we're reasoning about today?
Well, you know, a whole heap of people keep on us, so we're in the age of information, but them don't really realize we're in the age of misinformation also, because the more information will become available, it's like the same amount or even more misinformation become available also. And I feel like that in itself cause a whole heap of confusion. So we're gonna talk about it.
All right, I have an interesting take on this topic. It's a very interesting topic because I feel that we have always been in the age of misinformation. It's just that now that it's more, it's just heightened due to technology and due to people's access to share information to a bigger audience at a shorter time span, because powers that be always skewed information to control the population and make and frame or shape people's minds in the way that they wanted them shaped. But now we have the system misinformation, right? So most people do question your traditional news medias. But another issue now is another bombardment. Is just the regular person that has access to these platforms. Because before, you may hear a crazy story in your neighborhood, at the barbershop, at the supermarket, at the restaurant, at church. But now when you open your phone, you're bombarded with the crazy fire, the things I receive in my WhatsApp. I would say some people should just be ashamed of sharing this. You shouldn't even share it. I think it's a certain level of irresponsibility or ignorance in the sense that this is so outlandish. Why are you sharing this to other people? So, and I understand that you can't research every single thing, but I think like you should probably tone down on the stuff you do share. I think that's the first step we should do. We should kind of tone down on things we're going to share. And when we decide to share, we have to do a little effort to look into it to see if it even has any form of truth. Because it spreads so quick. You may send it to this person before you know it's 20,000 people have it. And they send it to the next 50,000 people. And a lot of this thing is fear mongering, man. A lot of it is just giving every day the world's ending. You can't eat nothing. Everything has poison in it. I'm saying like it's just non-stop. It's all this mix up. And not to say some of these things aren't true, right? But a lot of them are untrue. And I don't know if people just get a kick out of spreading certain information, historical information. I remember one time, this was funny. I remember one time I was teaching the kids, right, the financial literacy. So we were talking about we were talking about the percentages for your rent or mortgage. We were saying like they say it's 30%. It's not realistic for most, but that's what they say. So a kid quoted something. So the first thing I asked him, I said, "Bro, did you hear that on social media?" And he had to laugh and say yes, because he himself now it came from a credible source, right? He internalized it and he's sharing false information with others. That doesn't even make any sense. So it's like I feel the misinformation has always been there, but the misinformation has come, yes, from your peers within your small group, right? And I think this device thing now is very dangerous because you're not getting it just from your small group, and word travels so quick. You could put out a tweet now or an Instagram post now. All right, great example. The bounty killer interview we just did. All right, perfect example. And the wild part is it's totally pointless. We give things for the free publicity in our reality, but you totally just switched up. This man did not say that, and everybody they're running with it to the point that they're writing articles about this man all over Africa, cussing this man for and this man never said it. Someone took a clip of one part and sent that, and everybody ran with it. Now, all of a sudden, now everybody got a problem with this man, like saying negative things about this man based on this one little clip. And that's the next thing far with this Instagram thing and these short clips. Like, you can't. All right, I'm gonna give people the reality. I can't even put a full thought up there because one, it don't fit, and y'all not gonna watch it. So I have to figure out some piece of thought. That's some little catchy thing to put up there, far right. So the thing's set away right now. So even when we are getting certain things, we're not getting the fullness of it, and the person will have to go back and watch the full interview to get the full thought.
I just know the whole confusion start coming to play because they mentioned want to talk about two things. They mentioned the social media. So I want to mention the social media aspect of it. I want to talk about the source part because I don't really want the part they go unnoticed. So one, social media is a thing where once people get trapped upon the social media, them don't come outside of it. So every single thing, every information, the validation. So normally, all right, in a certain world, you have a thing what them call insights. And it starts from observation up to recommendation, right? So observation is you check and see what type of pattern is there. Then they have a thing what them call explanation afterneath that. How do you explain what you've seen? And then you have the third, what type of proof you use or any type of optimization, anything take place where can help you to push that explanation and that now become an insight. After that now, you give recommendation. But you understand all of these things, these four things I just mentioned, leading up to the final stage, people are doing this in-app. So when them do this in-app now, then would I say one story, then to something else or somebody else who agree with it. That in itself is the explanation and the validation for every single thing, And then if them ever go see it again now, it must be true. And after the next part now, we keep on, like it does a blow people brain. Oh, but we just keep on a see this. So the same thing we talked about already with the social media algorithms. Them the overstand, so them have a customized world because if me interested in this, the social media platform, them will give me this, so I can continue to talk about it, or I can continuously have an interest in the platform, so I don't leave the platform. So people not being aware of this now, there's a misinformation that now, them the overstand said the algorithm at work, and then the misinformation on top of that is that them a spread a false news or them a believe something when actually real, but them interest just applied straight to it. And then once them say this now, as they say, them say 30 seconds or something now may I bring it to the source, what them would call the data source. But most people now overstand say when it comes to the source, you need to understand the source where everything, single thing come from. And people don't really take heed of that. I feel like people just take information and then don't really care about the source. So they might, as they said, them see the Bounty Killer interview talk about Afrobeats and they don't really understand why take place night, they might say 15 seconds or whatever. Them assume, oh, this is what him said. So, but if somebody with sense now, or somebody were really pretty deep and I said, but this man I couldn't just sit down in all one studio. So look on him background. This man look like him in a professional interview as this thing. So him really couldn't sit down there and spending time as a man like this where have so much different attention, so much different places so him could have there. And him really sit down for 30 seconds to talk about a topic like this. Where is it coming from? What is the full thing? What is the context? Because most people don't really care about context. They don't really care about where the thing is actually coming from. And then if it's coming from this particular place, how do I know that it is true? What type of methodology these people use for know that this is particularly true? Like, I talk about traditional news media outlet. Like, yeah, say have most people, them say certain things from BBC, CNN, them tell themselves it automatically right because it's a professional news media outlet. In the morning time when most people are go work, them listen to it. So anything I see on BBC, ABC, whatever, any one of those channels, it have to be right because that's what they said. And I believe it. That's what they said. And these people are credible because they're one of the Fortune 500 companies who their job is to share information. So most people, is either out of loyalty, them take a source as being credible, or the fact say, them say other people agree with it. And that alone show you say something really hard for the people in mind how them process information because they don't really understand how to dig into a source. Because I know when I feel important, it might sound like a Stone Age thing, but everybody need to understand the concept of a library. And I think that is something where it almost vanished. most people don't understand the concept of library. When we was little youth and we have a library, we have to do research and we have to check the book there. Over this and we have to check that from the next book there. And then we'll compare them and we'll take out the thought them out of this and apply it them way. Yeah? But no, because the whole library thing is a facade and people can just go online and check and see information, them not really care about the validation no more because the bibliography not exists no more. Them things they not existing and nothing at all. So it's just a free-flowing thing and so comes the information start get wild.
All right. There's a couple of things you said I want to touch on. The first one is I have to reference Chronic song Likes, right? It's a very powerful song. But when you just mentioned here, I had to write it down so I didn't forget. In regards to research, right? Why would they research? Because what's their intention? You would research if your intention is to get the truthfulness or get the real story. Their intention is not that. Their intention is attention. So that's why they rushing to send it out. They don't have time to, they could care less. They figure say it's catchy or it's tricky or it's engaging or it may be getting traffic somewhere else. And let me just rush and throw that out without even processing the whole vibe, right? You said something else very brilliant also in regards to how people just accept because this is a validated source. You know how it's like you're taught, you always believe the doctor, the teacher, and all those vibes? It's the same thing with the media. The flip side to that is a lot of times you have people who are actually telling you truthful things, but because they're not validated by the system or they're not within the system, we disregard what they're saying as foolishness. So it seems like as long as that person has a suit on and their name at the bottom or they're affiliated with a particular media company, we default to them saying absolute truth. You know, so it's kind of like yes, it's a mixture of laziness, but then it's too like people are bombarded with too much information where my question is like, what do you have time to filter through? And do you have the mental capability to filter through? Because it's almost, you almost have to have a student vibe to you, like a life student vibe to do it. And no disrespect to people, right? But most people not on that tribe. So like, what are they filtering through? You've been in barbershops. Listen, man. So if you're around certain men, it's a whole thing of misinformation. You know, as you get older, you hear stories earlier that shape your mind. So I perceive that. But when you get older, that is straight foolishness. But you got to figure you got all of these little subgroups that just share these false stories all the time. And people grow up with these misinterpretations about things based on those false stories. And now it's just magnified. Farah, you touched on that algorithm. I hope people are listening, which we spoke about earlier. Yes, the things you're doing are supported because you're in the same algorithm. They're not going to show you nothing different because they know you're not going to look at it. And there's a high probability that your peers on the same type vibe. So of course your friend would see that also. It's not because they're listening to you and all these things. It's just the algorithm, all right, they know what you're interested in. Now, if you go around a different set of people with a different set of values, they would see something totally different. But that's where the support comes in. If you're in the same WhatsApp group with people, of course, you're going to see the same message. You guys are onto the same thing. It's going to share. So it shouldn't be shocking to you that you're seeing that same vibe from a different point. But I really wanted to touch on this whole vibe in the sense that we have the age of information, we have the age of misinformation. I think that people aren't taking it. I wanted to touch on this information thing. I don't think people are taking advantage of the amount of access to information that we have. This is a unique time in history in regards to, regardless of your reading capabilities, you can still acquire a vast amount of information to improve yourself and improve those around you. Because I was preying some of these, not the trashy podcasts, they have some very good podcasts. Some of these universities have their recorded classes online. Like they put a camera in the room and you can sit and just take in the class and watch it over and over and over again so you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like all those opportunities are there. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure they're aware of this, is that by providing this information, providing access to the information, no one will use it. I'm pretty sure they knew it already. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, I'm pretty sure there's like, man, look, we could open up the gates. Nobody knows how to use it for, all right. Because the amount of entertainment we're going to provide for them, their brain can't slow down and stop to break down a particular thing and try to learn something new. And it's true because we see it. You forget every human being on earth can read, right? Well, America at least, right? Everybody in America can't read. Majority of the population is functionally illiterate after going to school for 89 years. It's just entertainment 24/7, entertainment. And I just want to know what it does to the brain long term, like just being, they don't know. We have to study it and see, but like, what does that do to your brain long term when there's no critical, like you're basically not using your brain? What they call it, muscle atrophy or something? That's the proper term when your muscles dwindle away when you don't use it. I think that's the term. But I think many people I apologize if that's the wrong term, but many people's brains must suffer from it because you got to figure when you wake up, right? It's entertainment. Job, put that to the side, fire. Because most people don't know what they're doing on their job, so they ain't really stimulating your brain like that. In between every second you get on your job is entertainment or low-level conversations, and when you get home, it's entertainment.
But go on. No,
I was just gonna say that's why it's so easy to influence people, far. It's not hard to turn a person over. Listen, if I was a wicked person, I'd be the greatest pastor ever, far. I say it all the time, If I didn't have a clean heart and I wanted to hustle, I just go right into the pastor vibe, It's not hard to turn people over, especially in these times.
No joke, fire. I know some people. The funniest thing we talk about misinformation and information right now. I'm gonna show people. We're gonna put the whole thing to bed right now. All right. What the most used platform by any individual right now when it comes to videos? YouTube. And from what I talk about information and misinformation, we must talk about YouTube. We can't go around talking about YouTube. Right now, the excuses I hear a lot of people come with that, and I tell me said because of lack of finances and them can't afford school and all of these different things for them. I'm telling you this. The most expensive and the most exquisite and the most complex tools where anybody want to know or learn, type that in on YouTube. And there is free tutorial for every single tool. If it missing, tell me, come back and tell me that. May I tell you that right now, if you want to learn how to do SQL query, find out how to code any particular language, coding language that you want to learn, there are tutorials on all of these tools. And you see, the thing is, we up on YouTube, and most time as people up on YouTube, we look for, or what did he say, who is beefing, who did this and that, and then we check it out now. In our world, because again, with the algorithm, once we go in at YouTube, that's all we see. So we get feed and get caught up in that now. And then the information was so close, become so far. I will not overstand say, we step back for ourselves. Right now, every single thing we there I mentioned about the class a while ago. YouTube is the biggest classroom. How many people make use of that classroom? Very few, because them not really check information on levels how them need to check it for. Right now, you want to do something for your house, any DIY project, anything, you can do that on YouTube. And then, but people get caught up in this thing, and them not understand. So, like a lot of things I hear people say, I cost them, this is costing me so much. Yeah, them could have go up on even YouTube where them love so much and use it for so much drama. Them could have go up on YouTube and type it in and learn it so quick. I may talk about some things where some 5-minute tutorial may talk about how to do some, and some simple tools, some screwdriver or whatever you need to do it, but yet still them say them them say them broke financially, and them have to pay for people who are experts to do these things when them could have do it themselves. So you see, people them now process and even overstand. So information is a pivotal thing. Now once you have it at your fingertips, you're supposed to use it. But nonetheless, when meeting can take place, we use the word misinformation as a one word, but me I like to break it in a two. I think the people them are see the information they're so close, but them are miss the information. So that now become the misinformation, and I miss the people them are miss the information. Because watch this. Me go up on Instagram and me can tell them when I deal with all these business grants and all these things, me go up on Instagram and look on people's story. I see people post up about information about business grants, and when me apply for that, me get them business grant there. I mean, I tell you, say that's why you have to know where you do and how close information about. A lot of people now, because them so caught up and use social media and all of these different things for drama and all of these, if you spread that propaganda, now them gonna see this information in front of them and bypass it because now them in themselves for themselves I say no, here are them time and them start questioning it, you know. Oh, this can't be real. How much for just apply for this and get $10,000 in a grant? It don't make no sense. That just sound impossible. That not sound true. So now them start the real information. Now them start twist it and make it seem like that is the misinformation. Now them start lose out, and then when things not go right in the people life, them start blame the fact that I just saw the system set. No, I just saw you set up your system. So that's a whole different from how the system set, you know. This as opposed to how you set your internal system and run your program, you know. You feed yourself off of misinformation. I know that in turn now make you start process the real thing as the fake thing and the fake thing as the real thing. I know it create a whole chaos and confusion in your brain. And at this, I know you still lack of progress start go on. Because even things now, you have even things like LinkedIn Learning. You have a platform called LinkedIn for who don't know, which is like a business social media where people can apply for different jobs and check out different companies and all of these different things. I just create a profile, make sure so you have like your resume and whatever experience and these things. LinkedIn, this platform, what this platform does, this platform has certificates and different courses where you can do practically any topic at all. If you want to talk about for the rocket science, they have some form of certificate where or course where you can do forget all of these things. So them things I'm like for see people, I do. And don't tell me say you stall because of finances or you stall because you can't get access to this or that. You have things like YouTube where you can learn information from professionals who actually do the field, who are actual experts in the field. You have places like LinkedIn where you can try get 1 and 2 course, 1 and 2 certificate. And it's all, guess what now? It's all based on your timing. So if you want to do 30 minutes a day, you can do 30 minutes a day until you catch it. So based on, because I know a lot of people use the excuse of, oh, but I don't got the time. Because time is always one of the things when it comes to people now want for collecting information, and because collecting information take a whole heap of time. So now I tell the people them say if you say you have 15 minutes, you can do this course, the first portion for 15 minutes and keep that same 15-minute pattern. So don't tell me say information is not there. More you know start decipher between the whole heap of trash them way I say. Even though I know it's very difficult, given that majority of we get so caught up in the misinformation that if we come out of it, it's like a maze we now, we don't even know which way to turn. But nonetheless, I tell them say there's a lot of progress that can be made even in the midst of that, of collecting information and bettering oneself. So don't tell me so that not possible.
No, reality meds. And I want to say I give thanks for everyone who does take their time to provide people with quality information. Even though people don't support it, becomes very discouraging, you know, because people tend to focus on things that are just pointless at the end of the day, you know. So we really appreciate everyone who's been putting out great. I've learned a lot about video editing from YouTube, a mixture of the videos plus the actual working on your own. But there is some high quality instructors on YouTube for free that really know what they're doing, and I'm greatly appreciative for those across the board in all different areas. So you definitely want to take advantage of that, right? There's another aspect too, though, we have to understand. It ties into what I just said too, is that all right, so journalism, right? I had to write it down to make sure. I guess it's supposed to provide correct, objective, unbiased information, right? And we all know journalism is in a terrible state from a corporate structure because they're not in a position to do that based on the money they receive. But on the ground level now, it's the next situation. Because how can a person sustain who's trying to provide proper information when the people aren't interested? We are a culture addicted to entertainment and to gossip. If it is not entertainment or gossip, people aren't interested in it. So a person who's trying to provide actual information that's beneficial or intellectual conversation, how long can they do it without support? So the way the thing is set right now, it just seems like it just pushes everyone out and we'll be stuck with this just nonstop gossip. And it's quite the fire. If it's not gossip, people don't want to hear it now. Street. If it's not personal gossip, if it's not celebrity gossip, they don't want to hear their own gossip. They don't want to hear gossip about their life. They don't want to look into their life. But it's not about someone else's mix up or problems or he said, she said. They are not interested. And the reason I bring this up is because you have people who are not in the system trying their best to provide information, but one by one they just stop because to them it's like, what's the point? What's the point of putting in all this effort if people are genuinely? I'm trying to provide this information to you that you're genuinely not interested in. Who am I fooling? Might as well just go in my house and just keep quiet. So as more people like that drop out now, what are we going to be left with? A ball of confusion. You know, and the attention span that's the next thing too, man. This attention span is, man, we might have to just wipe that word out the dictionary or attention span and just come with something else, yo. Because it's not even long enough to say attention span anymore. Because the videos are so short, like they don't watch them. Why do you think YouTube put in YouTube Shorts? They have a whole section now and it's monetized. And people watch those like crazy. They don't have time to get around to the point. They don't have time for no build up. They don't have time for no second part. They just want to hear two words that don't capture the essence of what the person's saying. Whoop, or move over. Or a lot of times they don't want to hear any words. They just want to see like some extreme behavior, somebody jumping out of a building, somebody flipping a sports thing. So a lot of times they don't want to hear any words. They just want to see the action. And it's action after action after action, day after day. They got to be flipping through 1,000 videos a day because some people just sit there and flip all day. And that's every day. And I would like to know, as I said, if I had the funds, I would do a whole research about like what happens to your brain when you do this. We already know the phone plays a humongous role in regards to mental health issues and physical issues, health issues not moving around. But like the brain itself, you know, does it like destroy your brain's capabilities long term? The natural functions that your brain had already depleted because you engage in this behavior all the time. Can you come back? That's the question. Can you come back and build yourself up after this experience? Or is it the brain just done?
That's the brain too powerful on a level where it not necessarily done enough, but it's just that because them continuously feed the brain more right now, the brain now start internalize this as being the norm. I start to rally around that in our essence.
Well, far right, I will have to question because when someone does heavy drugs for a long period of time, the brain is destroyed. So my question is, if you're basically abusing your brain, right, with the flickering and the overstimulation. So like, can you bounce back? Yes, you can bounce back and function. You may not be addicted, but the brain has changed, and your processing and your cognitive skills have depleted. So I'm just questioning, and plus people are so young, they grew up with this. I have a next weird theory. It's weird, right? I throw it out there, but I wonder if our necks are going to be curved, like on purpose. No, seriously. That maybe the thumb increases or something because of the phone. I was just figuring like with everything morphed, the fact that we're basic, because we move it every day. I mean, we use it every day. With everything morph to fit what we do most of our time with is the head down and the fingers on the phone. You know, I don't know. I don't know how long it takes man to transition and add on things, but it's just something that I think about, you know. But people, you do have a responsibility for the information that you share, right? So I would just ease off with sharing your scary stories and the weird science projects, and it's just like, it even looks weird. Fire. You remember how you said like the Bonnie Killer things like he's in the studio. Some of the videos they share be so suspect, yeah. We be like a random person just look away talking certain things, and not to say it can't be true, but it's like, yo, I would at least look online and look if there's any type of thing to support what this person said before you go spread that out and scare everybody, you know, because you know how Caribbean people get scared real quick. Real quick.
Yeah, me have a funny you say that because me have is an example me have, but me try filter the example just so me not really call the name or tell the full situation. But yeah, there's this individual I know, and back in a college, so very something we may call a life or death situation or something pertaining to the betterment of them life. I'm gonna give this information. It's a female. Me give her this information, something for really better herself. So in the process, there's an age limit to this particular task. So there's supposed to be 21 and under where she can benefit from this particular task. Something for really, really change her life. Very, very much like a serious thing. So me give her the information, give her paper, dockets, every single thing. Tell her the situation, how she supposed to do it because she have 3 months before she turned that age. And so she starts, oh no, I don't think I'm almost that age. I don't think I'll be, you know. And this just sound, this just come up, this just sounds, and it's free. Why is it free and all of these things? So I say, all right, here you go. You have a phone? Check it out on your phone. Google this particular name and go get the information. There's a location. I'm going to give her a location at the center. The center will do it, and she can get access to different lawyers, pro bono case, all of that, as long as she's a part of the program. But once she reaches the age of 21, then it can no longer take place. She wait, make a month go up. Oh no, I'm not sure. Someone said, did you check the information? She said, no, it just sounds so skeptic, and you know, it sounds, and then someone said, all right, bring it, you have your parents, whoever you trust, bring it to them. And she bring it to her mother. When she bring it to her mother, fire, that thinks it's that seem like me become the demon. Me become the whole, what them call now, the antagonist to the whole situation. So, no, you can't make people, our mother tell her, so you can't make people tell you all of these things and trick you. You know, there's so much different scam different things and all the different that for you know. So me live for see that the person they bypass the whole situation, and there's 5 to 6 other individuals who me seen at the same position as she afterwards. When me bring will have less time in than the 3 months to help them life and change and transform them life. I tell you something, but just not really want to give the whole scope of the thing. I would even these individuals got through in a less than 2 months to benefit them life now. Now you mentioned the Caribbean people even being scared and all of these things, and the whole conspiracy, everything is a conspiracy.
That's the term I should have used, conspiracy. Yeah. That's the one.
Every single thing is a conspiracy theory, but is that it's so frustrating because for a lot of these people who end up in a situations where them life are fall apart. You have to wonder to yourself, like you always make it, it's always a system that play a role, but them now overstand that them have a particular key role to play in them own life and them own, and them lead to them own detriment because information is it's there in the fire. First and foremost, the information that I give that individual, you see if them type it on the internet, it come up as an official government website. So right off the top, if me see an official government website giving me information of all of these facts, how can it still be a conspiracy when somebody try to help you for benefit your life? But it's like the people them so far gone in the conspiracy theory that anything will seem to be, whatever just want to say easy, anything will seem to be too straightforward, and it seems like it not supposed to pose a big problem towards them livelihood. It's like people can't accept say it's true. Them can't accept say it's real. Them can't accept that them fall in the place where them would actually get a benefit from something without any form of headache, any form of hassle. And then the major point to me want to bring, because the disgusting part is not just that individual not overstanding say this is something that can change them life and even go check it out on Google. And this is a college student, by the way. That it can't even go check the information on Google. But the main fact is that them bring it to the person who's supposed to be them guide, which is them parent. And then parent even propagate the whole conspiracy theory even further. And that just to show you how drastic the whole culture is. And it seems like misinformation is a thing that come from top down. And it just start trickle down from even whole heap of parents to children. And it just start get worse and worse and worse. And then it's just the propaganda that start make them life start fall apart and them not even overstand.
Now, you know what I found wild is that those are the people that get scammed the most. Those who the scary ones, you know? I don't know. I got to look into that more, but I noticed they get scammed more than the average person. I think it's an education thing and exposure thing also, too, you know? You just don't know and have that vibe. But everyone out there, we do encourage you to read. It's okay to read. I don't know why. No, this reading thing's such a foreign concept, like in regards to like, you know, it's okay to tone yourself down and read. And as we stated before, if you struggle with reading, there's nothing to be ashamed about. You just can't read. You know, you need to learn how to read. I think it's so far right. People got such a shame when they're adult they can't read. But like, I think the problem is if you continue to live your life without being able to read. I thought the proper thing would be to accept it and try to learn how to read. your world is shut off when you can't read. The only source of information is your peer group, which I don't know them and I don't want to comment on them, but I'm not sure what y'all talking about. And mostly people verbalizing stuff. And even with the verbalizing stuff, depending on what you know, you may not understand a lot of it, especially if you're in the different areas that has where you need a broader range of information to understand it. So we just encourage everyone to just read. And also, I think it's a responsibility you should have as a person that you have to question things. You know, even if we're seeing something that sounds sweet, I think as long as it's packaged properly, if it's coming from a person that have a look to them, you know, and it got a little vibe to it, and you're confident saying, people tend to internalize it real quick and take it as a go, you know. And I think you need to question stuff and look into stuff a little more before you share it out. So that's basically it. And also take advantage of all the information that's available. For I mentioned earlier, literally free courses, because I don't know. One would have to question in regards to if you're an ambitious person, you're able to actually apply information, you could bypass a lot of institutions that people have to do, because you can take that skill and really monetize it for yourself. Because like I am telling you, there are numerous things. I use it all the time, especially for food and stuff. But like you have very well-trained, well-informed, skilled people who are providing information on different things. You know, and it's there for free. But as I stated earlier, they know already. They know people not gonna look at that. Hey, Kabaka, have a tune about that. I forgot what you say about burning the system. I got to worry because the thing too far gone already. I forgot. Yeah, something catchy you said. Before you want to touch something else on it?
No, it's just and there is I just expound upon enough of the thing them because there is a read, but it's just enough people I mean for overstand even if you read fires, there is a you read and you question the thing and you internalize the thing and anything again will seem like it still not make sense. It's okay if you continuously digging in, like you see enough of the people them not overstand say like them feel like so the first thing with the first sign of them not overstanding something at the end of the world. And that's so the big problems start coming to play for you, because no matter how much you read, no matter how much you get exposed to certain things, you still not have the full context. And that is just life, on a general life. It's a thing where you continuously seek, you continuously search. But it's like the people them so lazy to even go get to one level beyond what just placed in front of them face. And that's so the problem are coming to play for you, because okay, I see it here. I saw 10 seconds of this. You know, I can't bother because everybody just can't. You know, them can't. I don't. And the same thing with reasonable already. I don't care. But how can you not care? How come you tell me say you can't bother, but yet still you're sharing this information? That simply means that you become a major part of the problem, and you not even overstand say you're a part of the problem. Because that really take place right now in the fire. People are spread these things. All right, the man I talk about say, me hear a lot of people as how the society gets so violent and all of these different things for you. Because I remember saying, as a man dead, people go over this man, start do a video, see this video, I go viral. Like fire one time, nobody never used to want to see dead people, you know. No, from a man dead, people just start video, start send around the whole thing. Fire. So think about even the concept of that now. If him friend them, or any if him associates them in the whole gang culture, or whatever it might be, them start see the physical proof of what somebody do to feed them friend, you know. So them get more ruthless and more violent. Them can't sit down right and see how them friend dead and see how dead. Them want go them start visualize or for do that back to them enemy, you know. And guess who did cause that now? The person who did start video this particular thing, and them not video for the purpose. I said why the culture so violent. Them video it for entertainment again. So just I try to show you say how enough people not even overstand say them contribute to misinformation. Them not only become what you want to call it now, victims of misinformation, you know. They are the propagators of misinformation, and them not even overstand that. So it's like the people them just need to start get themselves into play fire and into place and just just start better themselves and know say if information is there, me want to seek the information, I want better myself. And the fact that technology reached to a different type of level now. Use that to your advantage, but don't get so far gone caught up in this thing that is start controlling life and start leading you astray. You have to have some form of grounds where you stand. May I tell you that?
serious thing. And we give thanks for everybody supporting the thing from those times. So now if you get free time, check out Far Right EP, Disrupting the Status Quo. Also check out Reasons for the One, Sawan Kute, son of Fela Kute, I reason there. We have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. 4 Reasons from Bounty Killer Styles, P. Paula Herlock, Dr. J. Paul Hines, and much more. Also, forgot to remind them, Fire, we spinning. If you want to hear some roots rock reggae music, tune in I Never Knew Radio. Sunday, 9 to 11, Wednesdays, 8 to 10, and Thursdays, 10 to noon on WLOY.org.